kicking y'all? We're back with another episode of Pickin 6. I am your host, Tyler, aka T Ho. I am joined, as always, by my good buddy Connor, aka the Locksmith. And we were joined once again. It's been a little bit. It's been a little hiatus. He's been on Twitter. We've seen him dropping picks, but he's now to give his picks out for us. Our boy Mac, also known as Follow My Locks on Twitter. Mac, how we feeling? Welcome back.
Good. What's going on, guys? Happy to be back. Ready for a big weekend of college football, NFL, Thanksgiving coming up. Everybody's going to be with the family watching football. It's going to be a good weekend.
Listen, this might be controversial. Thanksgiving might just be a better holiday than Christmas, in my opinion. Dude, I don't know. At least now that I'm 23, like Thanksgiving is a top. Like, dude,
If they had presents for Thanksgiving, that would solidify it. I like the Thanksgiving food a lot better than the Christmas food most of
I
the
would
time.
agree.
100%.
Connor, how we feeling? How was your weekend?
Weekend was good and ready to get back at it. Got a lot of football, a lot of college basketball this weekend with the Thanksgiving tournament. So I'm excited. A lot of games to bet on, a lot of money to make.
Yeah, absolutely. We apologize for the lateness of last week's video. We will try to let that happen again. But with all that being said, let's hop right in. NFL. I feel like everybody who watches us knows how we go. NFL and college always. So because these videos come out on Fridays, we will not be picking the Thanksgiving NFL games. But if I had to say anything, I would take the Cowboys. That's it. First game we got here is the Patriots are -6 against the Tennessee Titans. That game is in Foxborough, and the over/under is 44.5. Connor, I'll let you take this one first.
I mean, this might be an overreaction of both the lines and like my thought process here, but the Titans lost to the Houston Texans this past week. Now, it's a pretty significant blow to a team that was in the running and probably still is for a playoff berth. But with New England's defense being as good as it is, I see Tannehill and the boys having a bit of trouble, especially traveling all the way up to Foxborough. I think Pat's defense alone will let them easily cover, and Mac Jones will do his thing. Play a little conservative, but also offense has been picking it up. Like he was spreading the rock around. New England's gonna cover this game. I ain't worried about that.
Mac, do you have your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think this line will probably get up to like 7.5. Um, I don't think the Titans are very good, especially with Henry out. They've beaten some good teams recently, but I think the Patriots are on the up and up, and I think they'll easily cover the 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay off only because the Titans are 5-0 as a dog. That is with Derrick Henry, but Connor, you and I saw what they did to the Rams without Derrick Henry. That might have been a fluke. I don't know. For me, I'm gonna stay off just because the Titans are like the minute I doubt them, they prove me otherwise. So I'm gonna stay off that one. Next we got the Bucs -3 against the Colts, over under 51.5. I, for one, like the Colts here. Like Connor and I, we took them +7 against the Bills, thinking we were going to need that little buffer for the points. They went out and just dog walked the Bills, 41-15. Jonathan Taylor. I don't have him on fantasy. Somebody in my league does. I'm mad about it. He had 5 touchdowns in that game. They're looking a lot better. Carson Wentz is looking like the Carson Wentz that Philadelphia drafted. Colts defense is always solid. I said it. I'll say it again. Darius Leonard is one of the best linebackers in the NFL. Colts 7-4 against the spread, 6-4 last 10, 5-2 as the underdog. Bucs 4-6 overall, and 4-6 as the favorite. Does anybody have any want to take this? I'm taking Colts +3.
Yeah, I'm gonna go opposite of you. I think I'm gonna take Bucks in this one. I think they still might be a little undervalued just based on some of the recent games. Not the Giants game. They killed them, but they lost to the Saints. I think it's pretty important if Vita Vea plays. I know he was out this past week, but the Bucs have a really good run defense. I don't think they'll be able to do what they did to the Bills against the Bucs. They're not just going to be able to run it with Jonathan Taylor every time. I think Carson Wentz is actually going to have to do something this game, and usually when he has to go out and win a game for a team, he doesn't seem to be able to do it. So I feel much more comfortable taking Bucs -3 here.
Yeah, you can call it recency bias for me. I don't know. I do like to follow the trends here and there. I don't know. I just think that the Bucs are looking a little shaky right now. And this is the Colts' chance to capitalize.
Yeah,
Connor, do you have any
the Colts
thoughts?
are a sneaky good team.
They're getting
They've
better.
won.
They did not start out as
That win against the Bills. That win against the Bills was good. They had the Ravens beat too. They were up like 30 points and somehow lost.
Yeah, the Colts can win their division too because the Titans just lost to the Texans, and that division is the Titans, the Colts, the Texans, and the Jags. So it's the Colts have a good chance to make the playoffs and win the division. Connor, do
Yep.
you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I was pretty undecided before we started talking about this game. I'm gonna ride with the Bucs here. I think Mac made the more compelling point. Like I was like it was 50-50 either way for me, but I'm gonna rock with the Bucs. I think Tom Brady's gonna get on his roll. He had a couple bad weeks. The hit was it 2 weeks ago, had 2 picks in the first quarter of that game. I think he's gonna start picking it up as we get towards the end of the season in what is really Brady time.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think it'll be a good game.
It'll be a good game for sure.
I think it'll be a good game.
I could see the Colts defense making a pretty good impact too. Like their defense has been playing really well.
Yeah.
Brady kind of had a bounce back game this past week, but he hasn't looked great either.
Yeah. Colts defense.
They're not really.
Yeah, they're a good team. Next game, I know that Mac, you are a Dolphins fan. Next game is Panthers are -1.5 against the Dolphins, over under 42.5. Do you have any thoughts as a Dolphins homer? They're in Miami. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, so I don't, I honestly don't think the being in Miami thing really makes too much of a difference. I think this is kind of a weird line. I honestly feel like the Panthers should be favored by more in this game, especially the way they've been playing lately with Cam Newton. The Dolphins defense has just kind of been playing out of their minds. Like Brian Flores started calling the plays again, I think 2 weeks ago, and since then our defense has just looked really, really good. I would probably take the Dolphins money line in this game, just based on the line. Panthers only being -1 on the road when they've been playing so well lately. I think Vegas is kind of begging you to take the Panthers with the -1.
Yeah, I'm feeling Panthers. They're doing it to me. And I hate walking into Vegas's traps, but I like Cam Newton a lot. You're right. Is Kyle Van Noy still playing for the Dolphins?
No, we dropped him. He's on the Patriots. He's back on the Patriots.
Back on the Patriots? Okay, then never mind.
Yeah.
I was going to say something, but irrelevant. Connor, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think Vegas is definitely trying to get you to roll with the Panthers just off of Cam Newton's hot streak and his return to Carolina. Like I'm personally going to stay off of this game unless we have some serious line movement to where like Dolphins or I don't know +2, +3, whatever it is. But I'm holding off.
Tua has been a little roughed up lately. If he doesn't play, I'm off the Dolphins. But if he's in, he's starting. I don't think we have any other injuries that I can think of that would push me off. But this seems like a Dolphins money line game. I think we're on a 3 or 4 game win streak too.
Yeah, I want to take Cam and the Panthers. I just think that even though he was not the reason they lost last week, to Washington defense was a little banged up at the moment, but I'm gonna take the Panthers -1.5, just on the I think Cam Newton puts the team on his back. He has not much, not a lot of season left, and he needs to be able to prove himself. Do you think
is he playing every snap, or is the other
so.
guy playing?
I think Cam Newton played the whole game last week.
He did last
He
week.
had 2
I remember the
touchdowns.
first week. The
Yeah,
first week they were playing that other backup that they have.
Yeah,
And then he would come.
his first game on the roster, he played half the game. He came in when the other guy wasn't doing so hot. I think last week he started and played the whole game. He had like 2 touchdowns, I think, and then maybe 1 on the run running. I think he ran for like 40 yards and like threw for like almost 200. So I mean, he's looking solid. Do you think that he takes the starting job away from Darnold, or do you think Darnold's their guy once he becomes healthy?
I don't know if he's the quarterback of the future. I don't think he's the quarterback of the future at all for the Panthers. I think they're going to have to draft one.
Yeah.
I don't know what their draft situation is, but maybe they'll get one in the first round this year. There's a few good ones. I like Carson Strong a lot. But I think Darnold is probably done. He played so bad his last few weeks. It was almost like that injury was kind of like, oh geez, well, now we have an excuse to go and get somebody. I think they were off. They were getting to the point where they were going to be done with him anyways.
We think Cam Newton's just keeping the seat warm for the next draftee, pretty much.
Yeah, maybe they'll sign him to another year if he continues to play well, but I think they'll probably have to get somebody.
Yeah. He'll increase his stock to be picked up elsewhere, maybe. I mean, I think it was kind of crazy that he wasn't a starter. I think he's talented. I mean, you and I both know very well what it's like to watch, as Georgia and Alabama know what it's like to watch Cam Newton when Cam Newton does what he does. So
it's crazy that there's guys like out there on the street that can just come in and in an NFL game and score 2 touchdowns their first game back, don't even know the playbook yet.
Yeah, exactly. He was just doing him. That's always what he's done. If he can't do it with his arm, he does it with his legs. And that's, for me, all the Cam Newton hype, give me Carolina -1.5 after all that. Next game, they feel this ended up being a pretty good game last year because I picked it one way. I forget what it was, but the Chargers are -3 at Denver, over under 48. And I know Connor was talking about this one, so I'll let you start.
Yeah, I'm going to be rocking with the Broncos +2.5 here. I think Teddy Bridgewater at home, despite like the Von Miller trade, I think their defense is still solid enough. They're going to get in the pocket, get under Herbert's skin. And Bridgewater, for me, he just seemed, I don't know. I just got like a gut feeling, ride with Bridgewater on this one.
Teddy Two Gloves?
Yes, sir.
I picked him up for a little bit in fantasy. I'm glad that he's starting there instead of Drew Lock, my lord. Mac, do you have any thoughts?
This is a tough game. I think this will be another good game. I'm going to take the Chargers in this one. I like the Chargers. I like their defense a lot. I like Herbert. I like their offense. I like their coach. I really like everything about the team. I don't like. I probably won't have this on a card or anything like that. I probably won't bet it personally, but if I was to lean one way, it would definitely be Chargers. I don't typically like betting against Denver, especially with close spreads in games like this when they're at home, because you just never know how the altitude is going to affect some of the players. They're coming from LA, so they're not used to playing in crazy elevation. Teams tend to get tired quicker towards the end of the game when they're playing the Broncos, so I don't like betting on home Broncos games typically unless I'm betting on the Broncos, but I'd take the Chargers in this game. They looked great last week.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay off this one. I think it's I think even 3 points is. I think this was honestly a pick 'em. I know it's just me personally because of the unpredictability. So I'm gonna stay off. I'm not gonna put my money one way or the other. The next one is a very interesting one. The Packers are only a 1-point favorite right now against the Rams, over under 47.5. I've claimed the Rams to be dead to me. I like them a lot. Connor, one of me and Connor's favorite teams to gamble on. We picked them a lot. Connor, how do you feel about this game? They're in Green Bay, by the way, which how that cold weather. They said LA teams traveling to the cold makes a difference. But Connor, how you feel?
Yeah, that as of right now, I don't think we have any inclement weather to really affect the game. But even so, having the Rams travel to the Green Bay Cold, not not too confident in LA, just as a team as a whole and the way they've trended recently the past several weeks, but also Green Bay is back. Aaron Rodgers looked pretty solid, even though in the loss and what was a close game last week. Um, I think, I'm feeling Green Bay at home.
Yeah, I'm feeling Green Bay too. Like, I wonder if this is going to be the game where the Rams, like, they have a high ceiling. I think they could still win the NFC, make it to Super Bowl. I think they have the type of talent to make it there. I am Mac. What do you have to? I'm going to think about it. Mac? What do you think?
Yeah, I honestly think this is kind of similar to the line in the Panthers Dolphins game where they're almost begging you to take the Packers.
Yeah.
The Packers had a tough loss last week. I think they'll be, it was a tough loss last week against the Vikings. I had the Vikings in that game. I think the Packers might be due for some losses here. The Rams also are, like you mentioned, they've lost a couple games. They kind of need a statement win towards the end of the season here. This could definitely be it. I feel like if just based on the line, I'm gonna take Rams outright. I think they win the game. It feels like the way that both teams have been playing. Realistically, this spread should be more like -4 Rams, but the line's telling you it's going to be a closer game, so I'm going to take the Rams.
Yeah, dude. Listen, I think it might be the UGA bias considering Matt Stafford as the quarterback. But like, I've been claiming the Rams are dead to me, but I'm in the same line of thought. Like, yes, they have not looked great, but they in an instant can be one of the best teams in the NFL. You know what I mean? The Packers are still, the Packers are the Packers, and Aaron Rodgers is not somebody to be doubted for a second. I am gonna take the Rams, reluctantly take the Rams, and if they burn me again, I don't know what I'll do. But give me the Rams and a Cooper Kupp touchdown.
Yeah, I think this is a good Rams play. I think they need a bounce back game. This is a big game for them.
They need it. Like
they have a tough division. They need some wins. This line, it looked like it opened at 1.5. It's at a Pickem now, at most places.
Yeah, it's like it's a 1 point practically pick them, even if it is a 1 point spread.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need that, and like I said, I in my opinion, that's the toughest division in the NFL. It really, like, the Rams division is no joke.
Packers are still without Aaron Jones too. That's huge.
That I agree. And then now that the Rams can start working Von Miller and Odell Beckham into the lineup, especially after losing Robert Woods, they need another guy. I drafted Van Jefferson. I picked up Van Jefferson just as like an extra guy, just to see if he'll struggle that load. So we'll see how their offense looks with Odell, like getting some looks.
I actually to play Van Jefferson last week in the 49ers game. He got me some points, but I have DeAndre Hopkins, so he's been out for the past few weeks.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Yeah. Do we have any other NFL games we want to talk about before we move on to college?
I think that was it.
Yeah. Let's make.
I think the Cleveland-Baltimore game is also another big game. Division rivals. I think that's the Sunday night game.
I think you're right.
Right now, Baltimore, it looks like -4.
Yeah, there is no clear winner of that division either. Like, there is no, like, nobody who separated themselves away in that division yet. It's for that division's for anybody to win.
I think that'll be another close game. I think it opened at 5. I think 4 or 5 is way too many points. If you can get Cleveland +4, I think that's a good bet.
Yeah. Do we know if Nick Chubb's playing? That's what me and Connor base our Browns feelings on.
He is. I think he played last week. He played this week.
Yeah. So if Nick Chubb is playing, then yeah, the Browns are a good pick. And
Kareem Hunt should be back soon too.
Oh, then absolutely. Yeah. I might look that way. Are we ready to move on to college, boys? It is rivalry week. The last weekend of the college regular season before conference championships get underway. I am very excited. I know, Mac, you are too. with all that being said, let's get it started. We got the Egg Bowl. Mississippi State is currently favored by 1.5 against Ole Miss. The over under is 62.5. Mac, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, this is a tough game. I think it'll be a close, good game like it usually is. This is another one of those games where it's kind of like based on the line. You kind of have to take Mississippi State. They've been trending up. Ole Miss has looked good lately too, but I think this is a Mississippi State money line game.
Would you feel that same way? Mississippi State did not beat Auburn.
Yeah, I probably would. Maybe not if they got blown out the way
Yeah.
they were in the beginning of that game. The
Yeah.
way they came back was pretty crazy, but I just like Mississippi State. I like their defense. I don't really like Matt Corral too much. I think he's a little bit overrated. He seems to do a lot with his feet, which is not. It's definitely not going to work for him in the NFL. But they're I think they're still banged up at wide receiver. They're missing like two of their starters. So I'm taking Mississippi State in this game for sure.
Yeah, Connor pointed out like a week or two ago that Matt Corral is their leader in rushing yards.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you watch their games, it's literally him. He runs every other play. It's crazy, and he takes hits and stuff too. He's not the biggest guy.
Yeah, Connor, do you have any feelings or thoughts?
Yeah, just to give you an update on the rushing yards leader for Ole Miss, it's no longer Matt Corral.
Oh,
But regardless, it's probably negligible, like 10 yards here or there. Even so, I'm going Mississippi State also. Taking the money line. 1.5 point spreads don't particularly entice me either way. Like I tend to just rock with the money line, and I'm feeling Mississippi State at home here, trending in the right direction. And Ole Miss's offense is not performing as well as it did earlier this season, whether it be injuries or what have you. But I'm going with State here.
I'm in a predicament. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know. I've thought pretty highly of Ole Miss throughout the season. I think Lane Kiffin is a very interesting coach, to say the least. I know Mac knows about that. Yeah, I'm gonna stay
Yeah,
off.
some interesting fourth down calls this season.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. I guess he hates his kicker. I don't know.
Yeah, he's every other game he'll just say, "All right, we're not kicking this game. We're going for it on fourth, no matter where we are, no matter what the situation. We're just playing for hard."
Yeah, I don't know. I am gonna table that one in my. I cannot. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that game. I really
Thanksgiving
don't.
game. That's a Thanksgiving game too, so we'll find out after the show's posted.
Oh well, there you go. Is it really Thanksgiving? Oh, they do play during.
It is,
the week.
yeah.
That game is always.
I think it's always on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they always play that. It's weird.
Tradition to have the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and the games and Mississippi State too, so that makes a difference. Because Ole Miss has a huge bump when they're at home.
For sure.
Next game, I don't even know how Texas is still favored -3 against Kansas State, over under 52.5. Give me case. Texas mailing it in. I said it last week. I call West Virginia, and they came through against Texas. I feel like Texas has officially checked out for the season. K-State is looking solid. 7-4 on the season. 7-4 on the season, 7-4 against the spread, 2-1 away, 2-2 as a dog. Texas is 4-7 against the spread. Give me K-State, and I'll take the points as well. Does anybody have anything for that one?
Yeah, I like Kansas. I was gonna say I like Kansas State in this game. I think too. It's kind of a risky play. I think it'll be a good game. I think Texas has lost like 6 games in a row.
Yeah.
This could be the nail in Steve Sarkisian's coffin the first year. Who knows? I agree with you though. It just seems like the team has kind of given up. They don't seem to. They're not playing for much. So I'd rather take Kansas State in this one.
Connor, how are you feeling about this one? Are you riding with the Bevo?
Yeah, might as well just ride with you fellas.
Yeah. So make that a unanimous decision. When the three of us are in agreement, things tend to work out, so hopefully it'll stay that way. Next game. Ooh. Tale of two 10-1 teams from the Big Ten. Ohio State, Michigan, arguably one of the top college football rivalries in the country. They're in Michigan this year. The line is currently Ohio State -8 over under 64.5. I do not know how to feel about this game. Just how Ohio State is trending, but like their quarterback is not good. Mac, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is a tough game. I think the right play is Ohio State here. Their offense has just been dominating lately, and there's no secondary in the country that can guard their top 4 wide receivers, which is pretty crazy. They, their, like you mentioned, their quarterback isn't great, but their O-line is really good. They can run the ball on anybody. They have these wide receivers that should probably be candidates for the Heisman at this point, with Olave and a couple of the other guys. I think the right play is Ohio State here. I think Michigan's defense has been playing decent lately, but I don't think they've really played any offenses like Ohio State. I could also see Michigan keeping it close. I'm kind of on the fence here, but I think the right play would be Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm on the fence too because they are both 10-1, but Michigan State is Michigan State, Jesus. Michigan is 9-2 against the spread, while Ohio State 6-4-1. But I think that might have a little bit to do with Ohio State being so heavily favored in their games.
Yep.
No college football team is worried about whether they cover the spread or not. They're just trying to get in and out of there with a win. So Ohio State is getting their feet under them at the right time. They started out a little sluggish, with that early loss to Oregon, who I think that if they played right now, it would have been a very different outcome. I'm leaning Ohio State as well. Connor, your thoughts?
To make it unanimous, although Michigan's been looking better of late, still don't think they're, like as Max said, they're not going to be able to stop Ohio State's offense.
Yeah, I think we can make a unanimous decision on, even though I'm a little, just because it's over a touchdown and these games can be close, but I think that Ohio State can get it done. Next game is, one near and dear to Mac's heart. It's the Iron Bowl, Alabama, and it doesn't even matter anymore. Alabama's wrapped all the nonsense that's happened the past 2 weeks. Alabama is going to Atlanta. But, of course, we got to have this game. Alabama is favored by 19.5 points. The over-under is 56. And I don't know whether they are in Tuscaloosa or – I don't know. Is it that, who? How about you tell me, Mac, what's happening this year?
Yep. So this game is in, I believe it's in Auburn.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in Auburn. Hang on, let me.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Sure. Yeah, so if it doesn't matter either way, we're gonna blow this team out. They're terrible. Especially, Bo Nix if he was playing, that would be their only chance of maybe staying in the game. I think our offense has been playing really well lately. Last week didn't play great against Arkansas, but got the win. I think this is going to be one of those statement games. Bo Nix has been talking some shit offline about the refs and the way that they ref in Tuscaloosa, and I think it's going to be a statement game for Bama. I think they have Georgia coming up, so they kind of got to lock in here the last few weeks and get in the playoff. I think the line's 17. Last time I looked, it was like 17 and a half.
I have 19 and a half on Action Network, but
wow. Okay.
That's no specific book. That's just like a independent thing. You know what I mean?
I like alt spread -27.
Oh,
that's my play for this game. I think it's a blowout from start to finish.
Dude,
first half, full game.
It's so sad that the Iron Bowl is just like it's not competitive. Like other than the years that Cam Newton played at Auburn, and then we have the kick six. It's just I don't know. It's a very lackluster rivalry. I mean, so is Georgia Tech. So I don't really I can't say too much about that. I'm not gonna pick this game just because I don't really know. Like, yeah, do I think Alabama wins? But it's about how much. It's because, no offense, Alabama's defense has been looking suspect,
Yeah,
and I do not think
all
that
year.
Bryce Young is a Heisman candidate, even though they're making him out to be one.
I think
Not
he
yet,
is. Just
not yet.
based on the other players that like I can't really think of anybody that I would say deserves the Heisman
It's
over
unfortunate
Bryce Young
too, because
necessarily.
he will
It's a
get better. He's a young guy, so like he has some room for growth. I think that
you can
he
tell
will.
it's gonna be good.
If he does not win it this year, he will win it at least once.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
yeah, there's
And
no hate.
Brian Robinson, our running back, already said that this is a statement game for him. I think he's going to rush for over 150 yards. I think it's an easy. I think it's just a drain it out. Go up a few touchdowns in the beginning. Auburn does have a pretty good secondary, but I don't think it's really going to matter. I think we'll be able to run it on them, establish the run early, and just blow them out. I don't think their offense will be able to do anything with Finley.
Yeah, dude. I like you. You and I both are fans of Bo Nix, and he is their only hope, and they don't have him.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think Auburn fans even know it. Auburn fans are kind of just like, oh, I don't even. Who cares to watch the game just because their backup quarterback's in?
Yeah. Connor, how are we feeling? You gonna pick anything? You're gonna let it go. I don't know. I don't know how to.
Bam is gonna blow them out.
Yeah.
Plain like, there's nothing more to say. Like, it's not gonna be close. The 27-point spread is very tempting. I'm not gonna say that. I think they'll cover that 19.5.
Yeah. I'll probably end up taking it anyway, but we'll see. Next game, I think this is a nice line. Texas A&M -6.5 against LSU over under 46. LSU, in my opinion, is another team where I think is just mailing it in to get the season over with. It's Coach O's last season, so I think they've just kind of accepted defeat at this point. What are your thoughts, fellas? Connor, how do you feel?
Ooh. Come back to me.
Okay, Mac, how do you?
I was gonna say, I might like you. I might like LSU in this game. I think it's what's his name? It's Coach O's last game, right? Coaching at LSU. He might want to go out with a win. He might get his guys fired up. I think this line is probably where it needs to be. I think based on Texas A&M season, they probably deserve to be a 6.5-point favorite. But I don't know. This is a tough game. I think it's going to be low scoring.
I would agree.
Like the total 46, 45.5. I would probably lean towards the under, if anything, in this game. But I wouldn't be surprised if LSU kept it close too and covered the 6.5, 7, whatever it is now.
Yeah, barring any 72-70 madness from the 2 years ago that they played. Yeah, I think the under's a decent play. I mean,
Texas A&M has had some low scoring games recently.
Yeah, but the over under is also accounting for that. Because 46 is kind of low for an SEC football game.
Yeah, it is.
So I think the Vegas knows that these teams don't put up a lot of. However, the one time I took the under against LSU, under for LSU, them and Florida just ran that up. By the way, bye Dan Mullen. I think that Georgia UGA might have broken Florida.
Good decision. What's his name? Richardson's transferring apparently too.
The quarterback? No. Richardson. Yeah.
Yeah, the backup that they would never play that came in and threw for crazy amount of yards and touchdowns every time he would touch the field, but then they never played him.
Yeah, dude.
Apparently he's transferring.
I mean, I don't know if UGA broke Florida, but after they lost to UGA, they just sputtered into I don't even know what.
I know. I honestly had them last week against Missouri, and it was one of the.
Which is I would have done that too. 10 times out of 10, anybody who plays Vandy or Missouri, I'm gonna pick.
Yeah. Missouri's just not a good football team.
No, they are not. They are Vandy and Mizzou's are just there to pad the SEC's win column. Yeah, Vandy might end up being a bunch of doctors and lawyers, but at least we're good at football.
The SEC of the South.
Yeah,
the Harvard of the South.
Pretty much, dude. Connor, do you have any thoughts?
I think this is kind of going off of what Max said. It's a game where Coach O's last game, he's going to make a statement. I don't know what he's going to be doing in the future. He'll get a job somewhere, if he wants to. But
Yeah.
see, in like these situations, it seems like he kind of rallies his guys. They play around him because he's a good, like, just good overall good dude. Minus his like funky, uh, off the field or on the practice field things. Some of the issues that led to him parting ways with LSU. But yeah, I think they'll keep it close. I'll take the LSU plus points.
There's
Wait,
a lot of big jobs in college football open now too. LSU, Florida,
I could see
Miami.
Coach
I mean,
USC.
O.
Diaz is fired.
I think we'll see Coach O as the wait, Connor. I'd be lying if I said I knew exactly why Coach O would not be coaching anymore. I thought it was a performance thing. You said it's like something else.
There was something at practice with a
Yeah,
girl
he
or
was
something,
like letting girls, like I guess like young
his
mom.
girlfriend or something came to practice.
Yeah, and he was like letting the kid, something like her kids do like drills during
Yeah,
practice.
yeah.
Oh, and that's why this is a problem.
I think it was performance on top of like a few weird things like that
Oh,
happened.
okay.